So it's a set of tools for farmers and then brokers, like commodity brokers, crop insurance agents, grain and livestock risk marketing advisors, anyone kind of really focused in the space of how do we turn the crops or the livestock that we've been growing into revenue and ultimately into hopefully a profit, right? So, you hear the term risk management advisors, risk management solutions a lot, and it sounds kind of nebulous. But at the end of the day, it's about taking, hey, I made these business decisions. I bought a lot of cattle, or I put seed in the ground with the expectation around this is what it was going to cost me, and this is how much I might be able to make by doing that. And so what we want to do is we want to lock that business decision in because you made that with the understanding you could make a profit, right? So we want to make sure that as the markets go up and down, that we have things in place to ensure that we don't lose too much of that, and that sometimes maybe we can even take advantage of a little bit of a market going up there. This gets done with risk management solutions. So those are what we kind of categorize into three different buckets. So you have in one leg the physical sales. These are the most straightforward. This is I go to an ADM, an Anderson's, a Cargill, a Bunge, and I forward contract so many bushels that I'm going to produce or so many head that I'm going to sell, right? That locks in that price for a future date. Like right now, farmers typically maybe making some sales for December or November, like, a little bit after harvest. And that's a way of mitigating price risk, right? I can pre-sell forward and then avoid any fluctuations that may happen there. The other leg is insurance. So you've probably heard of USDA crop insurance. The sibling to USDA crop insurance on the livestock side is USDA livestock risk protection and livestock gross margin protection. These are subsidized insurance programs to mitigate price risk with livestock. And so HarvestIQ, we have tools that help track those policies that you may purchase and project out what those indemnities might be depending on how the market moves.
Are you providing then a software that a farmer would install on his computer and then put in what he has booked?
Yep.
What he signed up for and all of that, and then it works in a fashion to integrate all this into something at the end of the year?
Exactly. In fact, you don't even have to install it. It's interacted with over the web. So they can pull it up in a web browser, similar like their bank account, or they can pull it up on their phone on our mobile experience. So, and then the last piece here is it also integrates with their brokerage accounts for futures and options hedges.
Okay.
So it tracks whether they're if the market goes down, that they maybe those hedges are maybe making money, and if the market goes up, maybe those hedges are keeping a price floor locked in.
All right, so that's already pulling in what the market is doing.
Exactly. Yes, we have worked with the CME to get access to their data and ensure that these producers are able to see their entire portfolio of their crops and livestock mark to market with either depending on what the producer wants, we can do live real-time data if we get everything licensed in place, or we can use 10-minute delayed or even after midnight data, depending on what the producer cares to see.
And the producer at the end, all he has to do is make any necessary decisions.
Yeah, we don't automate the decision making, but we do make sure that the information then that you're making a decision on is accurate. Right. And most often you're sharing that with an advisor or a business partner in the farm, and you want to make sure everybody's looking at the same information. And so if one person's making a decision thinking that they've only got 20,000 bushels sold, and another person's making decisions and they think they got 100,000 sold, that's a problem. So we've been seeking to eliminate that.
I'll bet some bankers would like to be on that same account.
Yeah, we have some banks that are using the software to try to just understand the portfolio. You get around to the time of year where lines of credit and different loans need to be evaluated and renewed. They really like having a report to understand what the marketing positions look like.